the trainer toolkit. You probably are wondering, why am I doing this on Twitch and on YouTube? Part of the reason why I'm doing it on both is because I actually can't live stream on YouTube yet. So I made that discovery today. So I'm going to be going over, so we will be doing a couple more of these videos. Although I think I got to work around for in-person stuff, but I can't do it on other platforms. So I'm going to do a little bit of streaming. Same thing we did last night. Stream on this channel, take a break, and then come back and do painting. And we're going to see how that goes. It kind of worked out well last night. I don't know if it's going to work out the same, but we're going to give it a shot. And I wanted to test out this time slot for this kind of content on a couple of days, just to kind of see. But I've never actually opened one of these trainer toolkits. So as a Magic the Gathering player, there was always the deck builder toolkit. It was kind of a similar idea, where the theory here is that if you were just starting out in the game, you'd buy one of these guys, and it basically would give you a starting point to start collecting and start doing stuff. But Pokemon is kind of taking it to a step further, because you'll notice here, like play level, which I'll talk a little bit about that. They kind of rate their products with play level, but you'll see here you get cards, booster pack, card sleeves, guidebook, damage dice, coin flip, and condition marker. So you pretty much get most of what you get in the Elite Trainer box. The only difference is you don't get 9 packs, you get only 4 packs, which is a little bit different. And then in this video, I'm also going to be talking a little bit about the decks I'm working on, what I'm going to be bringing, and give you guys a kind of a sneak peek at some of the decks I'm actually bringing to our first event, which is going to be this Sunday at my local store, where I'll be hanging out with folks doing learn to plays, you know, just kind of getting our starting point of our Pokemon League, which I'll be running once I get recertified up. I'm going to be recertifying up in February as a judge, Pokemon professor. So we're going to kind of explore the content. So we're going to take a look. We're going to see what this is all about. Okay. So everything you need to build a powerful deck. Turn your card collection into playable, fun, and competitive Pokemon trading. So it's actually interesting that they say it this way. Turn your card collection into playing, which it kind of shows how the Pokemon Company themselves have kind of mandated that you collect the cards before you actually play with them. It's kind of interesting, because collecting was always their push in the beginning with them. And so it just is funny how even in their product here, they're talking about collecting as an aspect. And then it says, inside the box, you'll find, they actually use the word plethora. I'm actually surprised that they use the word plethora, since this is made for children. I use that word all the time. I feel like I use that word a lot. Plethora of options. Plethora of trainer cards and special energy cards, plus a deck builder's guide to putting them all together. So you actually get a guide on how to do it. That's kind of cool. So, I mean, it looks like a decent product. I will say, I haven't bought a Magic one of these in a while, but I don't know if Magic was as elegant. But I also have been playing Magic since the beginning. So, I mean, that's going to be a very different thing. And of course, which is common in both sides of the fence, the toolkit box serves as a card box. Ooh, but I like the dice that are in here. Oh, I like these dice. Oh, I'm going to use these. These are going to be my dice. They're green. That's perfect. That's awesome. Which should be around this, man. So what I was thinking, and it seems like I'm right, that this is a, I think this is a, almost like a, oh, and look at these. These are fire. These are actually pretty cool. I actually really like those sleeves, too. Maybe I will put one of my decks in that sleeve. So I think this is a little bit of like a build and battle situation. So here, I'm going to just show, and then, of course, box is a box. I mean, it has a little divider in it, which it looks like this is crucial to the box design. Box is pretty simple. I mean, it's, what's his name? The pigeon guy is on it. I always forget his name. It's actually in the, no, that box is dented. I was going to say it's embossed. It's not. So you get the typical things that you get in a lot of things. This comes in every Elite Trainer box. You get some condition markers and damage counters. We're getting Ooh, Temporal Forces, Twilight Masquerade, and Celestial. Okay, so not a terrible pack selection. This is probably the biggest thing, which I wanted to buy it for, which is the Trainer's Toolkit. This is the Deck Builder Guide, which kind of gives you a little bit more of a deck idea. But, yeah. Oh, and this is telling you, I think, what's in here. Oh, Ditto is in here. Wait, there are only 4 Pokemon in this deck? That can't be right. Here are the cards that are included in this Pokemon TCG Trainer Toolkit. Every one of these cards can be used to enhance drawing more cards, finding your deck's key Pokemon, and following the opponent's combos. The first step is to choose the Pokemon to build your deck with. After that... Oh, okay. So this is not really a helpful... Including in the Trainer Toolkit, you'll find 2 copies. If you want to use a deck with evolved Pokemon, remember you'll have to include their previous evolution. Okay, so this is not really a good... A lot of this is common sense deck building. I thought this was going to be... So Magic has a better deck building guide. Funny enough, they do not have a rule book in anything, which I always find interesting. All right, let's see what's in here. I'm going to... Another reason I bought this is because with my limited Pokemon collection, I don't have a lot of the trainer cards. I'm finding that I'm like trying to hunt down the trainer cards. I should have looked at what was actually in this deck. I mean, it's nice that you get these EXs, which is cool. I mean, he's not helpful in the decks that I'm doing. During your first turn, you may discard your whole hand. Draw 6 cards. You can use... You can't use more than one. Ability a turn. Yeah, so like it has a Nest Ball. Nest Balls are good. Rare Candy. So it kind of shows you like some of the boss's orders. I actually need that. Okay, so this was worth it just to buy right there. Okay, that Ditto, I actually have these Dittos. Oh, please. Reversal Energy. Oh, what is that? If you have more prize cards than your opponent, and if the card is attached to an evolution Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box. Okay. Professor's Research. So, I mean, this is kind of your yeah, so it gives you just a bunch. But what's funny is it doesn't... When you attach this card to from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon, switch that... Ooh! So it's a way to get them into the active spot. That's actually pretty cool. That's a nice combo card. Alright, so I got more boss's orders. I mean, this is what I wanted. Was all these trainer cards. Funny enough... Arvin. Search your deck for an item card. Yeah, Arvin's item focus. That's right. I forgot about that. Alright, so... Don't tell that boss's orders. Rare Candy. Choose one of your basic Pokemon in play. If you have a Stage 2 card, yeah, you can skip to the Stage 2 card with Rare Candy, which is a good combo. Alright, let me take these Jet Energies out, because the Jet Energies are intriguing to me. I'm actually going to take all the energy cards out. For each player, shuffle their hand and put... Yeah, Iona I don't really care for. Yeah, it gets rid of a special energy. I was so hoping this was not this one. Choose up to 2 bench Pokemon for each of your Pokemon. Search your deck for a card that would evolve them. Alright, so this... That actually I was going to put in my Eevee deck. But I'm finding that the Eevee deck, I think, works well without it. And I'll show you guys the Eevee deck. I want to get that other Jet Energy. And the Luminous Energy. Or not Jet Energy. Nest Ball. I just want to take out all these. Because these are... The Nest Ball is very helpful. And I'm going to include those. So where's the other? They gave us 2 nest balls, right? You can use this card only if you discard. Yeah. Nest ball's the way to go. You don't want to use those other Pokeballs. They're not that good. Yeah, like these, the ones that are like, you could discard 2 cards. I mean, they're not terrible. They're just not great cards. Shuffle up to an A combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards. Yeah, Super Rod is a great card. I'll actually take those out because Super Rod I would play with. Okay, I'm just going to take all the Jet Energies out. Switch is a good card. So I'll take the switches out. Bonbon's a good card. Boss's Orders is a good card. Did they only get? They really only gave you 1 switch? That's crazy. No, there we go. I was like, I think they give you 2 of every card in the in this. All right, so that in itself is really, really good to get. I like, you would think that getting all these trainer cards would not be good. It actually is really good because I need all of these trainer cards. Like the nest balls, I'm gonna actually put. I'm gonna put one of these in each of these decks. Well, I'll show that later. Let me show these decks as I'm building them. And then this is just going to be another. I mean, now I have like 4 versions of this EX. He's not bad. Transfer 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. I mean, he's got good abilities. He just doesn't do a lot of damage, so he's kind of a waste. I mean, if you build a deck around his ability, obviously it's good, but... Alright, so now we have all these trainer cards, which I'm going to put with all these other trainer cards that I have. Because I'm trying to keep all my trainer cards in one place. Which I will then sort these at some point. Oh, Switch was in here. Okay. Because like I said, it's amazing how... it's amazing how I need them after a little bit of time, and I don't know what to do with them. So, alright. So we're going to take a look at this. We'll take a look at that. Let's do the pack opening to see what we get in there, and then I'll start talking about some of the decks that I'm building for my event, and we'll see some in real time what I'm going to be doing. So let's get this going. All right, and then this I thought this also was going to be a rule book. I think it's hilarious how they don't have a printed rule book anywhere. You have to go online to read all the rules, or come to your local store and talk to your Pokemon professor. All right, I'm going to go the other way around. So we'll do Temporal Forces first. Let's see what we get. Do I have to do... No, that's right. I'm not doing any tricks. All right, Temporal Forces. Deerling. Pidove. Pinecco. Mawile. Sublime, Iron Valiant, Rescue Board, Mudbray, Seed Dot, and we have an Iron Thorn foiled rare. So no big hit in that pack. Let's see what we're going to get in Twilight Masquerade. See if we get any big hits in here. All right. So we have a Goldeen, Drippy, and that's funny. I like that. We don't need no stinking rules. Sandygast, Phoebus, Slurpuff, Perrin, which is not a bad trainer card. Milotic, Shinx, Ninetales, ooh, and an Infernape. Oh my god. These are not very good packs at all. So this toolkit, if I was playing in a real like competitive situation, I'm definitely not getting great cards for a competitive situation. So this would not be, I would not be walking into that event confident. Pancham, Charjabug, Saladit, Yamask, Area Zero Underdepths, Crabominal, Revaroom, Slowking, Panseer. Oh, another hollow foil. We have not pulled anything out of these packs. Oof, these packs are rough. Rough. All right, last pack in our toolbox. So, obviously, because you get 4 packs in the toolbox, do I think the toolbox is worth it? No. This is the worst way to get 4 packs. There's so many other products that you should buy. Although I think I might have just saw something. So that's going to change my tune on this. Lileep. Pawmi. Ooh, Pawmi's funny. What does Pawmi do? This attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Ooh, you could pick where the 20 goes. That's actually a really good idea. Fletchling. Marill. Totoscroll. Diancie. Togedemaru. Pergoli into a gold. We pulled the gold card. That's crazy. That's an Area Zero Underdepths gold. That's crazy. That's an ultra rare. Oh my god. Each player, this is a stadium card. Each player who has any Terra Pokemon in play can have up to 8 Pokemon in their bench. So this eventually would be a card that I would use in a deck I'm building, but not right now. And we did not get a second hit. We got a rare Iron Boulder, which is a foiled rare, but we did not get a second. That's awesome though. We got a gold card, baby. That's a good, so best possible hit we could get. Full art gold card. Definitely not the most expensive card we can get, and honestly, as a gold card, I have a lot of problems with their gold cards because most of the gold cards are like items. In this case, a stadium. I don't think it hits as much, although I do think this is a pretty card. The art is kind of pretty, and it actually works very well as a gold card. Sometimes it doesn't always work well. I was hoping that there would be more to it, or more in the artwork, but there's not like hidden stuff. But that's awesome. So we got a gold hit. We got a nest ball. I've been pulling gold cards lately. I keep saying that I don't have the luck to pull gold cards. That my my younger daughter has better luck at pulling gold cards than I do. But that's pretty cool. So we did get a gold card. No other hits, just the gold card. So I'm going to move all these out of the way. And now I'll talk a little bit about some of the decks we have. And again, I'm trying to make these videos short because we're doing them on YouTube and we're doing them on Twitch. I'm only doing them in both places because I want to let people know about the event coming up. So that is part of why. That event's going to be at my local shop, or one of my local shops, because I have my comic book shop and then I have a gaming shop that I go to. Although that, there may be changes in the future, who knows? But the local gaming shop, which is Undiscovered Realms, I'm going to be doing play events there. So we're doing some Pokemon stuff. So I'm going to show you guys some of the decks I'm going to be coming with, some of the learning decks. I'd actually like to do this at multiple places, but unfortunately, we're not selling Pokemon cards at the other location that I tend to help out with, All Yeah Comics. But maybe one day we will. And then I can do it over there too. Being a Pokemon judge, being certified, lets me do that. So I'm going to show these off in a minute. But, so there's 2 decks that I'm going to show off first. And these are the decks I've been working on. So I have my standard decks. Oh, jeez Louise. I like this case but it is a tough case to open. A little bit. But it's kind of cool. It can hold like up to three decks, or like 2 commander decks if we're doing like Magic the Gathering. If you guys are familiar with that format, where you play with 1 of every card in Magic, and you have 100 cards in your deck. So this is the Eevee Evolution deck that I worked on. So obviously, big thing that's missing from this is the EX Sylveon from the newer set. So the EXs from the new set. But I do have all of the Eevee Evolutions in here. It's a pretty amazingly quick deck. It gets everything out really fast. The other card I was hoping to have pulled more, I hoped was going to be in that. So there's 2 of these cards. Which, did I have a placeholder for that card? I think I did. But I was hoping to get the card from my Psychic deck that was going to be better. But I do have that energy card. I do have that tech in there. But I think this is going to be a really powerful deck. There are some things... and there are some placeholders for other stuff in here. But I'm going to give it a try. We're going to rock it out. We're going to see what happens. But I test played it a little bit, and it went pretty fast. You evolve all your EVs like really fast in this deck, and find all your EVs really fast in this deck. So I think it does what it needs to do. My only concern is because it doesn't have the EXs in it. I don't know if it's going to do enough damage, because the problem is that, I mean, if you evolve the EVs up, they do better, but I don't know if it's going to do enough damage in what's going to happen. So we're going to see what happens, but I'm not 100% confident it's going to do what it needs to do without the proper cards. I'm actually going to put these dice in here because these dice are actually fire. So I like the green dice. I'm a big fan of them. And I'm going to put my counters in here. And then the last thing I have to put in there is my flipping coin. But I'm going to get all these in there, which is awesome. Which is one last thing for me to take care of later. And then on the other side, this deck we actually have to finish. And I have not finished it yet. Yeah, I liked it. I actually got this at GameStop, funny enough. And they have a sale going on. If you're a pro member, you can actually get 50% off. Buy one, get one, 50% off. So I actually like this deck box. It's not a terrible deck box. I was like, it helps you to do multiples. I think it'll fit in most normal carriers. You know what? I'm actually thinking that I might go back and buy another one. And actually put my commander decks in this. Because I'm going to have at least a dragon deck and a Planeswalker deck. But and then this is my... Yeah, it could be. I'm kind of thinking... I'm thinking maybe I could do some redesigning or re-engineering with some paint, and I could technically paint the Pokeball in there. I think that would actually look pretty well. That's not a bad idea. I could do I could do red, so I could paint red like going down here. So you have all red in here, and then I could like do the half Pokeball design, which would look pretty cool. I kind of like that idea. So then for my Psychic deck, which is the one we're going to work on a little bit, this is what I got running. So this is all a damage counter deck. So I have these Mimikyus. This one's a little bit more tricked out because I have a lot more of the shiny, nice full art cards in here. Because this is my deck. Really, the Eevee deck is my daughter's deck. But it's going to be mine, but this gets a little bit more flashy because this Psychic I've been collecting for a long time. So there is a lot more. But this was the one I was hoping was in that trainer deck. Which we actually didn't. The trainer deck doesn't come with any of these cards. So I guess I should have known it wasn't going to be in there. But, and again, guys, if you like what you're seeing, consider following the channel, signing up for notifications. You also want to make sure that you're on and signed up for the YouTube channel, because I'm trying to push this content more to that channel. But I have to get more people on YouTube in order to do live content, which is kind of annoying. I didn't realize you needed at least 50 people on YouTube to do live content, and that's what I want to do a lot of, so we could cover release days and other kinds of stuff. So I want to start doing it in that on that side of the fence. If we can get to that 50 quick, that'd be awesome, because then because we have a couple of releases coming up in 2 weeks. Both Magic and Pokemon are going to have releases. So when I say releases, it's really just more Prismatic Evolutions, but stores are going to get the other products. So I want to cover what that looks like. I'm pretty sure it's going to be insanity like the last time, but we got Mimikyu in here. We got a Mr. Mime. I got Fluttermane in here. Screamtail. We got Screamtail EX. I have a Radiant Alakazam in here. So a little bit of, it's like kind of 151 meets some of my top faves of the newer evolutions and Pokemon. We have Jinx in there. This is a Trainer Gallery series with the Jinx trainer from the 151 Pokemon, which she has selfish lips. I think it's one of the funniest Pokemon attacks. If this Pokemon is knocked out by attack from your opponent's Pokemon V, which is probably not going to come into play, because most people are going to play EXs now. Your opponent can't take prize cards, so it's kind of cool because they get blocked or denied the prize card. But what I really put this in for was this attack does 10 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. And all the other Pokemon are putting damage counters on there, so you want to get everybody filled up with damage counters, and then you can just start knocking out and hitting massive damage. So the damage output in this deck is going to be really crazy. Mew is just a good, solid, like, beefy Pokemon. And then he just is an energy, he just hits for energy attacks. So 30 more damage for each. But what's crazy is it's all Pokemon. So again, great bench power. We have Mew in there. This Mew is so cool because he lets you draw up to 3 cards. So you always get a card advantage. But then you can choose one of your opponent's attacks. And typically a Pokemon sometimes can be weak to its own attacks. Or you can use special attacks against it and just throw it back at the Pokemon. So that could be very situational and fun. I want this to be a very I like playing decks that are very toolboxy. So I kind of can do whatever I need to do and adapt to whatever's going on, which I thought would be pretty cool. And then I really want to get more of these, because this attack does 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon that has damage counters on it. So that could be really good for the starter Pokemon, the smaller Pokemon, to get them an attack that will do something much bigger. And then as you go through the Pokemon, what you'll notice is like he prevents all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX and Pokemon V. So bigger Pokemon, he can literally just stand in front and he gets no damage. So he just sucks up the damage and keeps throwing damage counters. He can also be protected from damage, and he also puts damage counters. This knocks out the ability of the Pokemon, and also does damage counters. Screamtail, this attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon for each damage counter. So again, it's just this situation of I'm coming for you, and I'm hitting you. I'm loading everybody up with damage counters, and then I'm just hitting damage. And I'm essentially, the idea is that eventually everything will have so much damage on it that I can just tap on them and kill everything. And kill your bench, kill everything, and basically win the game, because you probably don't have any active Pokemon anymore, versus necessarily getting the 6 prize cards or whatever else. So I think this is going to be a good deck. I would love to have another one of these in this deck, which I would then, you know, take out one of the other Pokemon. But so I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Like, kind of Flutter Mane is in there as like a placeholder because I think I might take Flutter Mane out to have another one of these. Because this card, I think, is just unbelievable. Attach up to 2. And he also can get energy from the discard pile. So there's just a lot of really cool stuff there. Or just cool ability there. So I want to get more of these. Then, you know, we have heals. We have nest balls. We just search your deck for a basic Pokemon. So again, for this deck, there's quite a lot of basic Pokemon to choose from. If I need a nest ball to find one. And then I have finders for EX Pokemon. Just kind of standard trainer cards. Search your deck for up to 2 cards. Shuffle your deck. Then put those cards on the top in any order. It's just a way to kind of get cards to where they have to go. This will get... So I can get my 3 Pokemon EX. So I can get my EX Pokemon into my hand. Boss's Orders. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. Which we can now put the second Boss's Orders that I had gotten. Because I'm going to put that in there. I definitely want Boss's Orders. Because in this deck, in fact, I would play with 4 Boss's Orders. Because that's the card that should be in there. So I can keep getting... I do have an A-Spec in here that also will do active. We got a little bit of getting rid of people's hands in here. Put up to 4 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile. So that's really good to help with that EX. So you can kind of see the writing on the wall of what's going to happen here. I need to put more, like, Tulip, I don't think I have more of her. I would love more of her. These are all, like, it's crazy how you don't get a lot of trainer cards. I've noticed that now that I've started to build more decks, but... Let's see, do I have any more Tulips in here? It's possible I might. So as I say, if I do, I definitely want to put... I don't think so, though. Which is crazy, because I have a lot of... Sorry, guys. I'm just looking through to double check that they did not give me any Tulip in here. And they did not. What set is Tulip from? That's Paldean. That's not Paldean Evolve. Alright, well, Nest Balls. Alright, let me talk about the next thing we're going to talk about. So this deck is almost done. I mean, that definitely helped adding that second. I'm not gonna sleeve all this stuff yet because I gotta go. I'm gonna go in and start taking some of this from like full arts, so I can full art trick this out. But right now, this deck is sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4. Why am I doing it this way? Some of these are also trials, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10. It's 50. So I have 7 more cards that I can add to this deck. So I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I definitely want to double up on... I'd love to get another Tulip. I have to add something that's going to be a placeholder for this. So I put Vitality Band in there just to be another, like, placeholder. So if I could find another Vitality Band, that would be a good thing. Because I want something that's going to up the damage, and then I know that I have, like, the placeholder for it. And it's crazy. I do have another gold nest ball, and I'm going to put it in here. But, and I don't think Tulip, I don't think I got Tulip as a full art ever. So, but that's the Psychic deck. So that's, and these are both standard decks. So these are both standard in rotation decks that I can play for constructed, which is awesome. And then the other thing I was working on, and how are we doing on time? Very cool. This is almost a 40-minute video, which is what I wanted. What this also is going to do, another thing I'm working on is I'm working on, these are called gym leader decks. So this is a fan-made format for Pokemon, but I want to introduce people to it. And this is the idea that you play one type, so your deck has to be one type. You can't play any Pokemon that have ability boxes. You can't play any V or EX or V-Star or any of the, like, high-end. So it's all Trainer Gallery. And you only play one of each Pokemon. So I am making a Psychic deck here as well. So, and it's kind of taking on the same sort of feel. But, you know, there's a mixture of different things. There are a couple of evolves in here. Like, you can go the whole Tinkaton, Tinkertuff, Tinkertink. It kind of gives you the whole breakdown. I obviously would like to full art this out. I'm going to test these out. I'm going to play the format, see how I like it. But it's very challenging to play. It's very challenging to come up with a deck this way because you can't play with any of the special abilities. So it did disqualify a lot of Pokemon. But this is very toolboxy as well, especially this whole format. So I have Flip a Coin. It does 20 damage, so it's just a good solid damage Pokemon. Flip 2 coins. This attack does 30 damage for each head, which is a very typical Pokemon attack. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it. So it kind of has the that Mew ability where I can kind of grab your attack and throw it at you. So I thought this would be interesting. Flip a coin. If heads, attack does 20 more. Then if your Pokemon has any steel energy attached to it, attack does 40 more. So obviously you can't do this attack because you have to play one type. But I guess I could put steel energy in. I'll see if there's any advantage to it. So probably not going to be much of an advantage there. So I probably won't play with this. Discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, which is great. If this Pokemon has any... Yeah, so maybe Tinkerton was not the best choice because it has all the steel conditions. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks during your opponent's next turn. Pokemon can't use it. And that's kind of very powerful in this format because most Pokemon only have one attack because you have to use the basic stuff. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. Switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon, which could be fun to keep bouncing. Your opponent's... I tried to pick a lot of them that would put it to sleep during your opponent's next turn. If they attach an energy card from their hand to the defending Pokemon, their turn ends. So it makes it so you can't ever play energy on your Pokemon, which is kind of cool, which kind of shuts down attacks. But you can still be hitting for 80, which is kind of cool. This attack does 10 more damage for each damage counter. Flip a coin. Your opponent is now paralyzed. There's a lot of conditional stuff too these do. So you can kind of see... I kind of just like picked the best of the Pokemon I had And funny enough, not a lot of these are rare ones because a lot of the rare ones have abilities, so you can't play with them. So this is kind of like a pauper format if you know Magic at all. And there's put 2 damage counters. This deck does 10 more damage for each damage counter. So I tried to put some like synergy where there's some combos with Pokemon. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks. That Pokemon can't use this at in the next turn. And then Mew is kind of like the big guy. And I just put these Latias in. I want to put Latias and Latios. He can just do 50 damage to another Pokemon. So there's a little bit of versatility in here. And then started to work out trainer cards. I do want to put a Nest Ball in here. I should also probably put a Switch in here. Because again, you can only play one. The only thing you can play more than one of is energy cards. So it's kind of a cool, interesting format. I have a Psychic deck, and then I have a Electric deck. And that has some of my favorites. We got Pikachu in there. We have 2 different Pikachus. That's kind of me being a little cheeky because you can play these because they're technically 2 different Pikachus. Belly Bolt's in here. I will say for the Electric one, a lot less of the recognizable Pokemon are in there. But we got Sparks in there. I'm trying to pick energy cards and things. So I'll put a Switch in there. I'll put a Nest Ball in there. So I should put those in there because those are just good cards. They're good standard support cards. I mean, this is amazing. So like if you have a energy, if you have an Electric deck, 60 damage from each of your electric Pokemon. So you can, like, in a Hail Mary, heal everybody. I like this. You just get to see their hand. Which is kind of cool. So there's, like, a lot of... Again, it's... You try to chain combos, right? And I tried to make things that work combo-y. But it's very challenging to build a Gym Leader deck. Did I put any healing? I'm going to put this in there, too. The Boppin'. Yeah, 70 or less. Actually, yeah, there's enough for you to find to put 1 Moppin. Because this in Gym Leader format, you probably want those reserves because it's going to be really hard. Okay, so what does this do? If you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, and if the card is attached to an evolution Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, this card provides every type of energy. Oh. Okay. Oh wait, I have another boss's orders. Oh, then I need to put this in. I need to put this in my Psychic deck. Wait, as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides energy. If you have more... Oh, okay. I know why this... So this is not as good as the other one because it's a conditional. This card provides every type of energy. But, oh, because it's 3 energy at a time. Oh, but it's 1 type, 3 energy. Ooh. So this actually could be better. Because if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, and if the card is attached to an evolution Pokemon, so this would not help me. Okay, I get it. My brain had to wrap around the whole deck before I said what I was going to say. Shuffle up to 3. Yeah, Rod's just good. I need more of these too, Super Rod. So I would put super. I don't think I got a second super rod. Did I get a second super rod? It seemed like they gave you 2 of every card in here, but I could be wrong. Did we get us another super rod? Yeah, nope. I don't have another super rod because I used them all in another deck. Just gonna take the boppins out of here. Put an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon into their hand. If you do, attach an energy card from your hand to your active Pokemon. Oh, I didn't know that that's how that worked. That's funny. Search your library for up to 2 basic energy cards, attach them to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck during the... Ooh. She's actually really good, too. Because she speeds up the process. She speeds up your deck. I don't know what I want to do. I have so... The trainers are just as hard to pick. I feel like... Alright, I have so many things on my desk. You guys are seeing me live work on these decks. So these are what they call gym leader format. So I'm doing some things and I'm trying to figure out what I want to play here. Yeah, Boomerang Energy is kind of fun. But I don't have a Boppin, right? Yeah, I didn't get that. Okay, so this... Because in this one, 70 or less. Oh yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon that they can go get. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, this would definitely benefit from that as a support card. All right, so where are we at with the Psychic and Gym Leader deck? This has got to go... This has to go on my Psychic deck. Again, I have to recount this, but how's everybody doing? There's a lot of people here. So I'm just showing you guys off. We just opened up the builder kit. I'm just playing around with some stuff right now. Oh, is 3 bosses orders too much? What do you guys think? I've never played any of the card game, but I like the art. Yeah, the art's really cool. That's what got me into doing the Pokemon stuff. I mean, this is the full art stuff. Like what you're seeing here, this is the full art Vs. You know, that's the goal. I'm again, like I said, I'm massively good at pulling gold cards. But the Mew, that's the full art. But these are the cards. So this is a newer concept, but this is the full art illustration cards. And these are always beautiful and fun. I love them. I love that they do a lot of them as like Pokemon in, you know, normal like everyday life. You know, same thing with this. It's the nice full art. This is actually the promo Mimikyu. But I love the artwork because it's like this Mimikyu is just living with this old lady. Which, if I'm not mistaken, in the show, I think Mimikyus, I hate to say it, I think they are like harbingers of death. Which is kind of, I'm pretty sure they appear when you're about to die. Because Pokemon, of course, has to be like insane with their Pokemon. Some of the Pokemon have very, especially the Psychic Pokemon or Ghost type Pokemon, because Ghost isn't a type in the game, but in the show they are. Because Mimikyu is considered a ghost. Fluttermane is considered a ghost. Screamtail is actually is Jigglypuff. It's like an artifact, ancient form of Jigglypuff. It's what Jigglypuff evolved from. In like So he's like prehistoric Jigglypuff. Yeah, Jinx is just off play. I love this. I love the art cards like this. That is my #1 favorite type of cards, is the old trainer gallery art cards. Are so good, which unfortunately at this point, with probably another 2 sets, a couple of sets, they'll be out of rotation. You won't be able to play with any of them, which is really sad. And then, of course, the full art trainer cards are always fun because the character models and concepts are nice. You know, from a character design standpoint, like, that's a great design. That's a great design of a card. Like, just great composition. You get the motion. Even this, it's just really cool. It's just very atmospheric. Gives you a lot of, like... And that's, like, older Bill. I like this because this is, like... This is Bill from the 2nd series with Ash, where Ash and him both grew up a little bit. They're not the young kids from leaving Palatown. I love that. Which, if I'm not mistaken, Serrano is from... Serrano's not going to be in the new Arceus game, but Serrano was from Scarlet and Violet. You meet him in one of the towns. It's kind of... because he's very European. But I love his... And, yeah, Boss's Orders, which is... This is from the newer games. The sort of bad guys. His Team Rocket is not a bad guy in the new games. Alright, so I already put a boomerang energy in here. I don't want to go crazy with special condition energies. But do you guys think, for those folks that do play, do we think 3 Boss's Orders is insane? I think it's helpful for this deck because I do want to be able to bounce Pokemon around. Because based on the ones that hit more for damage counters, if I've been putting damage counters on a bench Pokemon, I might want to flip them out so I can take a hit at them to kill them. So I think it makes sense to have 3 Boss's Orders, but all right. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, this is a little insight into some of the decks that I'm working on. I'm going to have more, like, fully big videos. This is where YouTube and I are hopefully going to start living, and I can start producing some videos where I'm going to edit them. I mean, currently at the current time and what I'm doing, I don't think I'm going to have time to do that now. Just too much of my life going on and too many other projects. But there are some really cool merch stuff I'm working on. We will eventually have, I'm trying to work on it for shows, but I will eventually have, like, my own kind of take on a playmat for Pokemon. We have, of course, in the store currently kind of my Pokemon inspired folks, which I didn't put I didn't put my right backdrop. Way to go, me. I did my normal, like, painting backdrop, but I should have put the Pokemon one. So that's a miss on my part. I have to remember that I have different overlays for different things. So yeah, I do have my own inspired even land of Pokemon. My own, like, little region called Lost Island. If you want to meet some of the characters from that, they're actually on my website. So if you actually scan that QR code at the bottom, there's also links underneath for it as well. You can definitely see all that stuff. There's also a link. Oh, I didn't put Pawmi in the other deck. Maybe I'll do that later. I was gonna say I definitely have merch links for a couple of different things. Check it out. You can get a hat, you can get a t-shirt, you can get a mug, just with our general channel stuff on it, with a really cool logo. It's joining the Orc crew, since I do mostly model painting. So what's going to happen, guys, is I'm going to take a slight break, and then I'm going to come back for our normal painting stream. And what we're going to be working on the painting stream is going to be more of our Plague Marines. So we're going to be painting more of these guys. And then if I can get it done, we're going to hopefully start to work on those Fire Slayers for Warcry. That was the project that you guys voted on as the next project for me to work on. So we're going to take a look at that. So again, guys, thank you all for watching, as always. And if you want to see more of this content, please consider following the channel and signing up for notifications. Do it on Twitch and on YouTube, because it looks like for the foreseeable future, I'm going to have to do them on Twitch, because I can't do live stuff on YouTube yet. So I don't know what it becomes. I think it becomes a short, which is like not the format I want to be doing on YouTube with this kind of stuff. So it's really kind of annoying. I didn't know you had to have a minimal follower threshold to do live stuff on Twitch. Who knew? Not on Twitch, on YouTube. Who knew? The rules have changed slightly, which kind of makes sense why now everybody does short form content. At first, I was like, why does everybody do that? Shows you how long I've really used my YouTube channel. Which I think is kind of funny, because I don't even know the rules of YouTube anymore. All right, I'm going to put that there. Sorry, guys. I'm just like doing a little bit of a quick clean. And I'm doing it while you guys are watching me, so I do apologize. But yeah, if you like what you saw, consider that. And we do not only Pokemon-related stuff, but I also do painting, drawing, other creative stuff. So I work, I have my own indie comic stuff that I'm working on. I have my own art that I'm working on. So if you think any of that sounds interesting, or you're big into the hobby scene, tabletop game stuff, Warhammer, models and painting, you're in the right place. We do all that stuff. And, reviews and other stuff. And sometimes I'm drawing with friends of mine as well, which I need to connect with Franco and find out when he's going to be on again. Maybe we'll try to connect again and do a little bit of fun, because that's always fun. It's always fun to hang out with my friend Franco, and have a little bit of a good time. But for shows, I will announce when that'll happen. But for shows, I will start doing my own Pokemon card with my trainer or judge persona on it. I'll keep you guys posted to when those will be possible. I have to finish the card. I worked a little bit on the art today. It's kind of fun. But trying to do my own kind of full trainer gallery card. I have to come up with some fake attacks. I'd love to hear from you guys what you think would be a good attack. All right, I've gone too long in this video, but I will see you guys in a little bit. So I'll probably be coming back on around 11. So if you want to hang out till then, or come back at 11 to see us do some painting stuff, like I said, we're going to work on some of our Plague Marines. I might even work on this troll a little bit more as well. I think we might work on those two, to be quite honest. And then I'll try to get the Fire Slayers primed up, so over the weekend we can start to do. But I'm going to try to see if I can prime them up so I can at least start painting one of them. One of them now. All right, take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Check those links out below, and please follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And please go over to YouTube and make sure you're signed